Be sure you know what's below and call 811 before you dig.
Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank Pawhuska, wants you to know they are still the same friendly hometown bank. Local people that live, work, and worship right here in Cushing. Providing you the same great service, more convenient products and technology, making your local banking experience even better. A great bank, serving a great community. Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank Pawhuska.
Failure. Error. Network failure.
When your internet goes down, your customers disappear. Simple transactions suddenly become very important. Protect your business from severe weather, severed lines, and other internet interruptions. Keep your business doing business and your customers happy. So what IoT? Internet everywhere.
Since 2003, Pro Events has had one singular focus: great audio, video, and lighting systems. Never confusing our industry with the PC crowd, Pro Events always provides you with the best, most reliable options for your house of worship, school, or corporate training facility. Make your system stand out from the crowd. And remember,
for the best AV, you know where to go visit proevents.pro.
When your internet goes down, your customers disappear. SOAT IoT helps keep you connected in almost any circumstance.
SOAT IoT keeps us connected all the time.
When your internet goes down, your customers disappear. SOAT IoT helps keep you connected in almost any circumstance.
SOAT IoT keeps us connected all the time.
When your internet goes down, your customers disappear. SOAT IoT helps keep you connected in almost any circumstance.
SOAT IoT keeps us connected all the time.
RCB Bank is more than a transaction. We work to make your life easier. We help build your business. We finance your dreams. We grow your legacy. We build relationships with our communities. Come in to find out why our customers always say, RCB Bank. That's my bank.
When you have a team of physicians and nurses that really truly care about their patients, that translates into patient care.
It's a small practice, it's a small town. Everybody really takes that time to put the patient first.
Everybody cares what's happening to me and that I'm making progress and I'm gaining my freedom back and my mobility back. This patient is saying thank you.
It seems like these days you can't go anywhere without running into RCBers like pro footballer Brandon Whedon, who happily say, that's my bank. We're committed to providing you with hometown community banking services, keeping your money safe and secure.
Hey, am I doing this right?
Don't worry, we're way better at banking.
RCB Bank, that's my bank.
Located at 300 North Harrison Avenue in Cushing.
At Davis Dental Studio, our patients are our friends. Unlike the big commercial facilities, Davis Dental Studios wants you to know you're not just a number. We strive to bring personal and quality service to each patient. Dr. Rebecca Davis has over 18 years of experience as a caring and compassionate dentist. She and her highly trained staff will make sure your visit is a positive one. So remember, when you and your family need dental care, Davis Dental Studio. You're not just a patient, you're a friend.
In my mind, I was never going to walk right again. Before we were through, we had walked 23 steps. And that was my first steps of freedom. This patient is saying thank you.
Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank Pahuska, wants you to know they are still the same friendly hometown bank. Local people that live, work, and worship right here in Cushing. Providing you the same great service, more convenient products and technology, making your local banking experience even better. A great bank, serving a great community. Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank Pahuska.
Failure. Error. Network failure.
When your internet goes down, your customers disappear. Simple transactions suddenly become very important. Protect your business from severe weather, severed lines, and other internet interruptions. Keep your business doing business and your customers happy. SOAT IoT. Internet everywhere.
Since 2003, Pro Events has had one singular focus: great audio, video, and lighting systems. Never confusing our industry with the PC crowd, Pro Events always provides you with the best, most reliable options for your house of worship, school, or corporate training facility. Make your system stand out from the crowd. And remember,
For the best AV, you know where to go visit proevents.pro.
When your internet goes down, your customers disappear. SOAT IoT helps keep you connected in almost any circumstance.
SOAT IoT keeps us connected all the time.
When your internet goes down, your customers disappear. SOAT IoT helps keep you connected in almost any circumstance.
SOAT IoT keeps us connected all the time.
When your internet goes down, your customers disappear. SOAT IoT helps keep you connected in almost any circumstance.
SOAT IoT keeps us connected all the time.
RCB Bank is more than a transaction. We work to make your life easier. We help build your business. We finance your dreams. We grow your legacy. We build relationships with our communities. Come in to find out why our customers always say, RCB Bank. That's my bank.
When you have a team of physicians and nurses that really truly care about their patients, that translates into patient care.
It's a small practice, it's a small town. Everybody really takes that time to put the patient first.
Everybody cares what's happening to me and that I'm making progress and I'm gaining my freedom back and my mobility back. This patient is saying thank you.
It seems like these days you can't go anywhere without running into RCBers like pro footballer Brandon Whedon, who happily say, that's my bank. We're committed to providing you with hometown community banking services, keeping your money safe and secure.
Hey, am I doing this right?
Don't worry, we're way better at banking.
RCB Bank, that's my bank.
Located at 300 North Harrison Avenue in Cushing.
At Davis Dental Studio, our patients are our friends. Unlike the big commercial facilities, Davis Dental Studios wants you to know you're not just a number. We strive to bring personal and quality service to each patient. Dr. Rebecca Davis has over 18 years of experience as a caring and compassionate dentist. She and her highly trained staff will make sure your visit is a positive one. So remember, when you and your family need dental care, Davis Dental Studio. You're not just a patient, you're a friend.
In my mind, I was never going to walk right again. Before we were through, we had walked 23 steps. And that was my first steps of freedom. This patient is saying thank you.
Bank of Cushing, a branch of Blue Sky Bank Pahuska, wants you to
Do a sound check. There you go. Can you hear me?
James a little bit, now I hear myself.
I seem awful low.
Welcome to the RBC halftime report. This is Bruce.
Okay. So I can change. Let me check the score real quick. Yeah, I've got that. Check 1, check 2. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tiger Football Live. You're on the hook.
Mic 1, 2.
You're wall to wall and treetop tall here.
Sounds good, Joe. I'm good, and I can work on this a little bit.
And to get it sold.
It'll go over there.
Yes, sir.
You're really loud in our ears, and I can't hear myself very well at all. No, not particularly.
I don't know.
No. Perfect. Thank you.
I'm not saying it was loud, but I was going to say a prayer.
Can you turn Travis and I up a little?
I'm a little low, maybe. Hello. Tiger, first down.
Check. All right.
I hear you good, Trav.
All right. We're good. I'm going to go check those cameras real quick. I'll be right back. You want to do a test on the...
Good talk.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Game over?
Ready? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Odell Field, the home of your Cushing Tigers, and welcome to Hub Network Live, where you're catching all the action of the first round of the playoffs. I'm Travis Perry alongside Bruce Vogt, James Kauffeldt, and guys, this is the Tigers' first round of the playoffs. Got the opportunity to be the home field advantage and finishing the season. Let's just talk quickly about last week and the end of the season. The Tigers had a victory over Skytook.
They did. It was a good victory. Of course, the Tigers come out strong. They come out quick. They get their feet planted, and then nobody can really catch up with them. Skytook, all the teams we've played this year have just never been able to go pound for pound, foot for foot.
Yeah, the Tigers have been, and we talk about it normally when they have the opportunity to win the toss, they go on offense first. They've been a quick strike offense. They run a little bit up pace at times. And the statistics, and being our statistician, Bruce, I know you can appreciate this, throughout the year, and you start to look at where the guys individually sit in the state rankings, and several of the guys, Blaze and Noah and Camden and others, are in the top 5 or 6 players in the state. And Bruce, they're getting two quarters most of the time.
You're absolutely
and a compliment to that, of course, as well as the defense. So as we shift from just the last game, that finished the Tigers' regular season, and the Tigers end up undefeated in the regular season, 10-0.
And you're right. And I'm going to use the analogy, since it's Veterans Day, and we do appreciate all of our veterans and their sacrifices to them and their families, and we totally appreciate it here at the Hub Network. Our offense is like the Air Force. They come out, they throw the ball, boom, boom. There's somebody there to catch it. We got one of the greatest quarterbacks that we've had in a long time here in Cushing. He's accurate, he's strong, he's very smart back there in the pocket. You've got that offensive line that's just like an army. I mean, they're just there. They're holding tight. They're not letting anything come through on that offensive line. Then you got on that defensive side. You've got the Marines over there. When that ball snapped, they're coming through. They're making something happen. And then you got the Navy in the backfield that just shoot out of there like ships off an aircraft carrier. That's my analogy for the veterans.
And it couldn't be a better time and place for that, obviously. And just to comment on what you're saying, one of the comments I read on Coach Morgan this week was his impressiveness with particularly this group of seniors and their work ethic, and that they have they're smart. And they have the work ethic to put game plans together, and that's been a big benefit in his mind throughout the year as the Tigers finish that 10-0 season. Now, what does all that mean? It's the first round of the playoffs. I say it's a new season starting right here tonight in about 8 minutes.
And that's one thing about the Tigers, and a good point there. Mentally, Cushing's going to have to be prepared at some time to play 3-4 quarter ball games. And mentally, that's something that they haven't had to do with. So that's going to be a big part as we go a little bit deeper, mental.
As we get going in this, guys, as we get started tonight, we're looking forward to it, and it would be difficult for us not to look ahead, all the way ahead. But, the Cushing's got to take care of each game, and it's hard not to even look ahead to Elk City or something like that we might get a little payback. So Broken Bow comes in here. They've surprised a couple. They're a good team. It's a good quality team. And people keep asking, is Cushing that good? Over the next 4 weeks, we're going to find out.
Well, and it is been the mentality of the team all year long. One game at a time. And in some of your post-game interviews, James, with Coach, he's talked about the importance of always going 1 week at a time and maintaining focus and discipline.
Right. That's exactly right.
And give it to the coaches. That's what they've gave these kids that attitude. Every week, kept them excited, kept them motivated, but kept them grounded.
And focused. Focused being a big key. And we mentioned at Broken Bow, the Savages coming in. I don't know if they, flew in or left yesterday. It's a drive, but I'm sure that the coaches planned and prepared the drive so that they wouldn't be, tired just from driving when they got here. But they come in, and from pregame warm-up and some of what we could see, I thought, okay, yeah, this is going to be an opponent that the Tigers will need to be ready for.
Yeah.
Go ahead, James.
Each team coming up through, there's going to be a team that could surprise you. And we all remember, and I think especially this team, I told somebody the other day, Cushing Tigers, I've played every game like it's a championship game. And I've never seen a team come in prepared every week and hit it as hard as they can while they're on the field. Usually by this time, 2 or 3 games, it's going to be not a very difficult opponent, and they've let off. Cushing has not let off yet. And so I think each game they're remembering the sting of that Elk City in the first-round playoffs last year. So I expect for them to come in here guns blazing, going all out for 4 quarters.
And whenever and I'm going to do this from memory because throughout the season I've kind of kept my eye on Poto and some of these other teams that have been ranked in the state rankings, and I've kind of watched in on their district action. And it was possible even that at last week it was a possible Ada opponent. Yeah. But Ada, I think, was playing Broken Bow, and there was a there was a tie in there coming out of a tie at Broken Bow. They led the district much of the year because several of those teams only had 1 loss, and so we get, not really surprised, but we get Broken Bow here tonight. And my point to all that is they've got state-ranked quality teams in their district as well.
Exactly right.
And I foresee tonight that Broken Bow gives us a challenge in the first half until we can get focused, planted, and get our rhythm back. I think it's going to be a good first half.
Yeah. I actually filled out my bracket. I actually went through and twice, and I've gone back through and you look down Wagner, Bethany, where's that going to go? And Bethany has been the surprise all year long for me. So, hey, listen, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back here on the Plains Pipeline pregame countdown. Be right back.
Be sure you know what's below and call 811 before you dig.
Ladies and gentlemen, here on the Plains Pipeline pregame show. And this, of course, we were just discussing before the break that the Tigers are hosting tonight. Broken Bow Savages coming to town. I believe they have an overall season ranking or a record of 7-3, possibly 2 losses in their district play. And we were touching on the fact that their district has state-type ranking teams in it as well. And so in pregame, one of the things I noticed, guys, was they were throwing the ball. And they were, they looked like they had strength and speed as well. So I don't and necessarily anticipate they're not going to hold back, of course, anything, and could be very well formidable right from the start.
Very, very good.
Sorry about that. Bruce, go ahead.
Travis, the thing is, we're in a one-and-done situation here. We got to continue to win to keep moving. Tigers are going to come out I don't foresee them changing their game plan at all, because our game plan has been flawless all year. We've come out strong. We've come out passing. We've come out running. We've got a great balance with Noah and Crooks receiving, Noah running, Berlowitz passing. And Berlowitz has such an arsenal, such 5 or 6 people that he can throw to that, he doesn't hold on to the ball very long.
I want to say, guys, there have been at least 7 different wide receivers that he has thrown to this year, of which 6 have scored touchdowns.
That's right. That's the thing about it, and you guys were just talking about it. There are so many threats from the Tigers. So running back, they stopped Noah Jones. Well, you got 3 other running backs behind him, including Camden Crooks can step in there. Your receivers, yep.
Check.
We can hear you, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Joe, we got you, bro.
So, you've got so now you've got Brady Matheson in the mix. You've got Lane. You've got all these different places, along with Berlowitz, along with Crooks, along with Noah Jones. You've got all these different places the Tigers can go. But let's not forget, this is a balanced team. So a lot of teams will have a good offense, weak defense, good defense, weak offense, and 1 or 2, 3 good guys. The balance on the Cushing Tigers is probably some of the best I've ever seen.
Right, and one thing that Broken Bow's going to look at is the Cushing defense. They are so quick off the balls and quick into the backfield that they may start dumping something over the middle on us, and we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on that.
That's exactly right.
And Broken Bow, does their warm-ups in the north end zone facing the north, so they were warming up, throwing into the wind. And we've talked about the wind and how it can play havoc, but this will be one situation for both teams. I should say, however, a situation for both teams. The conditions tonight being cold and windy, and both teams are probably facing that for the first time this year. And I've always had this old philosophy, and it's getting older every day that I get older, and that is you either love playing football in the cold or you can't stand it. Right. And you're usually on one side or the other. And whenever you're out here, the chances that everybody loves to play in the cold is not always true, and that can play an effect in the game.
And I'm glad that we have a cold game, because as we progress into this month and into the playoffs, deeper into the playoffs, it's going to be colder and colder and colder.
Yeah. Okay, I'm fixing to show you guys one of our new features we're going to have here on the Hub Network, and we'll work it out as we go along. Look, there's Panda down there. Panda is back
in the uniform.
Week. How exciting is that? Sorry, I saw a squirrel. So
captains are at midfield.
Yep. You guys know how to go. So here we go. If I put on this one right here, and then, oops, wrong one. If I go right here, are you guys ready for this? I can say right around there. Look at that. Tellustration. Don't be confused. And I lost my clear button. So here is our Cushing Tigers. Look at that, guys.
Yeah,
the captains.
John Madden Caulfield.
That's right.
The captain's brought into the frame by Mr. Caulfield.
Yeah, I don't know what all we're going to do with that. Hub best. There you go. We got Tellustration. All right, there we go. That's enough playing with that.
Yeah.
And that Tellustration will come in handy as the captains have now decided the Tigers will go into the north and defend the south end zone. So we'll have the wind at our backs in the second quarter, and Broken Bow will start out defending the north end zone and moving with the wind in the first quarter. And it's just about time to get started.
It is, and that's the wind has not been a factor all year for Berlowitz. He's just got such a rifle that that ball is low and it's moving when it's
we've seen him not have to adjust to it like other quarterbacks have. And I agree with you. I think it's arm strength, conditioning, and of course that's something the coaching staff and the players really try to impress upon the program.
Right, and James was talking about, the receiving core. You have Crooks, you have Yount, and the big guy coming on is Brody Matheson.
Mm-hmm.
He has took some rockets from Berlowitz and held on, and some that would probably put me down for a couple of days. I mean, a couple of rockets into the end zone. So you got Jones, Yount, Berlowitz, and Matheson as receivers, along with Crooks. And you got some of those other classmen like Peterson, Woods, that can come in and do the same job.
Yeah, that's right. And in watching Broken Bow's warm-ups, their quarterback, I believe, is going to be senior Christian Brumley, number 2 on their team. The other person warming up was a freshman, so I'm going to assume they're going to have that senior in at quarterback. And he throws out routes. He throws deep down the middle. He was throwing against the wind. Most likely that would be a preference if you're warming up, because it might be a little easier adjustment with the wind later. However, it's what happens after the Tiger receivers, after they catch it, can make things and have made things happen all year. We have yet to see, because we haven't watched Broken Bow, but we will see tonight what their receivers can do. And the keys to that, of course, come from pressuring the quarterback, from the interior line and the linebackers, and our good secondary staying with their guys.
Right, and we've seen it all year long. That's not going to be an issue. People have good games. People have bad games. Tigers have been able to just put every game together thus far this year. I foresee the same tonight. I think that defense will come out and just be spot on. They'll continue to swarm the ball. The defense has been impeccable this year with 4 or 5 people around the ball on each tackle.
Yeah, that's right. And the Tigers, like we said, had won the toss and will receive Zaragoza. Ready to kick off for the Savages. He's at his own 40-yard line. And the Tiger return team, Yount and Jones back. Crooks up a little closer. And it is time for playoff football, and here we go. That kick will go to Crooks, and he makes a move and a man miss. One of the things Crooks loves to do is get to the outside as he tries there, but he is swarmed, and wow. And he took a lot of guys to get him down. You think he's ready?
He did, and the thing is, Broken Bow did the right thing. They kicked it very high, gave him a chance to come down and make that coverage, and that's why he just couldn't actually get away or find a good path.
Yeah, you get that ball held up in the wind a little bit, and you give your you give your guys a time to cover, and Crooks has that speed that can get to the outside so quick. He didn't have a chance there, and so he was held at bay at least for now. Bertowitz will start from his own 35-yard line, and we've got 2 wide receivers to both sides with Jones in the backfield, and it looks like they've changed something from the initial call as this fake handoff and a pass out in the flats. And there is all kinds of daylight out there. And just like always, Camden Crooks does what Camden Crooks does. He lowers his shoulder and puts a guy on his back and gains 5 or 6 more yards. The Tigers now, from their own 35, are at the Savage 36 and a first down and 10.
29-yard gain for the Tigers.
Crooks now in motion. Will put 3 wide receivers to the far side, and Bertowitz looks that way, fires one deep, and just looked like it was out of the reach, of course. He had Crooks and also, I believe, Brady Matheson over there.
Sorry.
Yeah. And as far as the first pass of the game, from that standpoint, the secondary for Broken Bow were there. They were in the area.
And they were covering tight on those receivers. So Bertowitz is going to have to set back a little bit, maybe a count or 2 longer, and wait for that open spot.
Trips to the far side. Bertowitz looks that way. He has Crooks in the flats. That's where he goes. Okay, that pass goes over Crooks' head. Now, one of the things I kind of noticed about that play is, as Blaze looks that direction, he sees the defense crashing, and he had to let that go a little bit high. Maybe Crooks could adjust, maybe not, but he had to let that go high. Otherwise, it possibly would have been a pick 6 going the other way.
And we got one of the linemen down. Looks like number 64.
Should be Todd.
He's kind of holding that knee a little bit. You're right. It was a high pass. I think Bertowitz kind of forced that pass a little bit too early and didn't give it a chance to develop. So, again, Tigers still looking to get that stride. A lot of variables, like you said, cold, wind, and an exciting time into the playoffs. So a lot of things working against both teams tonight.
Yeah, we'll sure hope that Brody will make his way over here and work out the kinks. He's had some knee and ankle injuries in the past. We certainly hope it won't be something of that issue. He's got some help getting out of the field, but he's putting weight on it. So we'll see, look for him to see what happens there. This is where the Tiger offensive line has worked really well all year, is having guys step into positions and move around. At one point, the offensive line was the most valuable player of the game, and they gave us 6 or 7 names that go into that group effort. So that has worked in the Tigers' favor so far this year. Now facing 3rd down and 10, still at the Savage 36-yard line. Bertowitz has tripped wide receivers far side. He hands off to Jones. Jones still fighting for yardage, gained of about 3 on the play. Good job by the offensive line, opening up a hole.
And in rushing, Jones, the average is about 10 yards per carry. About 108 yards a game is his average.
Yeah, him between his 108 and Blaze's 300 and some yards a game passing. the Tiger offense has been in great shape all year long. Here still on the first drive. Blaze on a big drop back. Finds Crooks. Touchdown, Tigers.
And we saw it right there, Travis. He stepped back in the pocket, took an extra 2 or 3 yard drop, gave his offense time to set up, his receivers set up, and Crooks broke out in the open. The ball was right there. 33-yard touchdown pass to Crooks.
Yeah, what I love about watching Crooks run routes, and on that play in particular, you could tell that was the play call. That's where Blaze was going to go, because Blaze did take that extra 4 or 5 steps back, and it gave Crooks that chance to turn on that speed and get open. And that kick is up and good. So with 10:45 remaining in the first quarter, the Tigers methodically go down the field and put themselves on the board 7-0.
Tigers ended up with 4 plays, 62 yards, and a touchdown on that.
And a mixture of passing and running, a flat pass here, a flat pass there that didn't work. And oftentimes the run with Jones is that handoff that's a run-pass option where Blaze Burrow run it if it's not, or, go ahead and have a pass out into the flats. And so we see that in the Tigers' favor on that drive.
And Broken Bow's getting some pressure in the backfield, but nothing that is really scary at the moment to Berlowitz. The offense is being able to control them, move them around where they want to. Berlowitz is just going to have to settle back into that pocket, settle down, get into his game plan and his rhythm, and he can find that open receiver downfield.
Yeah, we welcome back in. James has been running around doing a couple of different things here. Did you get a chance to watch much of the drive?
I saw the touchdown.
Yeah, and it was
the important part.
It was beautiful. Yeah,
beautiful.
Here we go.
A thing of beauty.
This will be Matheson set to kick. This one against the wind, high in a rim, taken around the 20. The Tiger special teams closing the gap, and looks like it's going to be stopped right around the 35-yard line.
A lot of late pushing and shoving there.
Hilligoss got the first hit.
Jacob Kimmel also in on the play. Now the running or the return man for Broken Bow, he didn't go down extremely easy.
No,
he was going to keep his feet moving. This will show that, and just in warm-ups we see the two teams very strong-willed. All teams are in the playoffs, but you just never take anything for granted. Everybody comes to play. So the Tigers out with their first possession, starting from their own 35-yard line. Broken Bow hoping to see the same result, starting from their 35-yard line. We'll see if the Tiger defense is ready to say not today. Tigers in their normal 4-man front look. That pass out in the flats, and the Tigers defense is there pretty quick. Gain of about 4 on the play.
And looks like Burgett got the initial hit out there.
Good to see Burgett back on the field. Indeed, a gain of about 4, maybe 5 on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 6. The Tigers, again, showing just a 4-man rush. This time with a handoff straight ahead and coming through and putting
Absolutely
a hammer down.
By Lane Yount.
Man, that was vicious.
So a lot of people might ask, how does Yount come from covering a guy 30 yards down the field one play, and he's in the backfield on a play like that?
Mm-hmm. Well,
it's a good coaching.
Well,
design stunts.
It is design stunts. It's also knowing when you're going to be able to do that.
That's right.
Based on how they're set up. So it's how the offense is set up. He's not going to pull back on that. He's going to be in a linebacker position, and he's not going to drop back. He's going to stay home, as they say, instead of dropping back.
Noah Jones on the tackle.
That pass complete out to the far side. That'd be the home side for Broken Bow. It does make it to the 45-yard line. It'll be a 1st down and 10. The Tigers' front line there includes Connor Moreland, who we talked a lot about in between games over the past couple of weeks, has really started doing wreaking some havoc, if you will. And he does there again, pressuring from the pocket. Also in on the play, Brody Berlowitz.
Brody Berlowitz, that's right. Also, number 62, Connor Moreland is, I was kind of a toss-up on him the beginning of the year. It seemed like he was a little timid. He has found his way out of that.
And
Bruce last week even talked about making him the player of the game just because much out of him even last week.
He was all over the field last week.
And there, the Tigers bringing pressure again. And is that Horn possibly in the backfield?
That's Horn.
One of the things, if you watch just, certain players on certain times, for example, Moreland, a lot of it's technique.
Yeah.
You see him fire low, and he does rip moves and swim moves, get by the offensive lineman, and sometimes it takes two of them to slow him down, but he never stops fighting.
And in case you're watching at home, you may have made the wise choice in that it is cold out here tonight.
Here's a pass. And
nose
picked off on the cut. And guys, there's possibly the block I saw was thrown. I want to say 56. I believe it was one of the pulling guards from the far side, Cade Ralston.
First down for the Tigers.
Pass over the
Right
middle
over
of
the
Crooks,
middle.
and he's got all kinds of room and gets crossed inside the 40-yard line and be taken down around the 37.
The confidence that Crooks is having in Berlowitz right there, and the confidence that Berlowitz is having in Crooks, Crooks does not slow down a bit. Takes that completely in stride and never has to check up at all.
That quick inside route to him is a favorite of mine all year long, and it works. And then it builds on another play later where you go a different direction, but you give that look.
Berlowitz with all kinds of time, but that one tapped away, I believe.
He had some pressure coming in the backfield. We got a couple pretty good-sized linemen there for the Savages.
Crook has 4 catches for 89 yards and a TD already here in the first period.
Leland Billy would be number 88, and he's one of the down defensive tackles, defensive end positions. Yeah, defensive tackle. He was applying pressure on that last play. Now Crook's in motion, and Berlowitz back, fires this side, finds him. Inside the 30, makes another move, another guy miss, and touchdown, Tigers. Camden Crooks showing Broken Bow how to run the ball.
That's exactly right. Touchdown for the Tigers, and that's 6 more right there as the Tigers come out and find that gap. But so let's back all the way up. He fumbles it at the reception. No, the score's right. So the last touchdown was brought back, and so So our producer in here, folks, is in my ear telling me that I need to fix the score. And maybe because some of you last week were reminding us how much we need to fix the score. So we are going to make sure we get that right this week. But so let's go all the way back to the kind of fumbles that. It's a cold weather thing, kind of fumbles the reception on the kickoff and the punt. So he comes back. But now he's making people miss, and left and right. And so what was a difficulty, I went the long way around here, fellas, to tell you what was a difficulty in catching the ball in the cold weather night. He's actually using to his advantage slipping tackles there. Sorry, I went a long way around to that, and I apologize.
And on that point, I agree completely. And the thing that is impressive, and we've seen it all year with Crooks, we just now get to celebrate it a little bit more because